balls, and she's playing with them right now. I think she's getting them out. You know, when we were in school, we dissected things. Yeah. We dissected like a cat when I was in high school. It's fine.
How did you do during that?
You know what was funny?
Were you squeamish?
The anatomy teacher in that class was walking around with a coffee cup during like class, but also during these dissections. I'm like, that's kind of gross, right? Yeah. Turns out it was a dip cup. He had dip in his mouth, and all that whole school year he was sitting in this coffee mug, and I was so oblivious. I just thought, this guy's drinking coffee. And we've got like dead cats on the table.
It's hilarious.
And it was not coffee.
I want to interview this teacher. You thought he was just, you know, innocently with the cup. Yeah. It was one of those.
Yes, and also another thing that sticks out in my mind about this, which by the way, I don't remember a lot from high school.
That is so funny.
One thing he said that I thought was weird was he was like, you know, if you want a nice behind, a nice butt, you just have to walk. Like walking really gets those glute muscles going. I'm like, that's a weird thing to say to students. You know?
Yeah.
I wonder if he's still working today, that fella.
Well, if we out him right now, maybe not.
Oh, yeah, maybe not.
I will say the teacher's lounge at my elementary school, this is back in the 80s, you could smell the cigarette smoke oozing from underneath the wall. Yes.
Yeah. But you guys weren't allowed to.
We were not allowed. No. We were not allowed in the teacher's lounge. And it was such a mystery because you'd catch glimpses of the teacher's lounge whenever you happen to be walking by in the hallway. They had a Coke machine in there, lit up. Imagine, like, the Coke machine in the context of an elementary school was just such a... It was just like such a point of wonder. Oh. Like, oh my gosh, could anyone ever sneak in there and get a Coke out of that Coke machine?
I wonder if teachers used to booze it up. Speaking of like tobacco in the mouth, like back in the day, you know?
Oh,
like the 60s.
I bet.
The 50s. The teachers were like
drinking in the... I wouldn't be surprised. That is too funny. What a vivid memory.
Random.
Yeah, coffee mug, dip cup. Wow. Yeah. Okay, well, we digress. We got a fun show. Okay, not only are we going to be dissecting a cow's eye, which actually, you know, there's educational value to this because of the similarities to the human eye and how the scientists have used actually this cow eyeball to explore common issues and illnesses with the human eye. Also, Caitlin, as promised, did play me her favorite song by the Pentatonix during the commercial break there. It was absolutely beautiful.
Right.
It was an a cappella arrangement of The Little Drummer Boy. And I have heard now, because when I first heard we were going to be speaking with the Pentatonix, I was like, I think I know it's an a cappella group. Now I do think I am familiar with their work, but that's exciting.
You probably are. Yeah. No, it's one of those songs. It is The Little Drummer Boy. There's like 300 million views on YouTube. If you look it up, stick in some headphones, or if you're in the car, turn up the volume and just like feel it. It is outstanding. It will just make your whole day. And it is a Christmas song, but this is so good that you could play it throughout the whole year. And from what we understand, there's a new Christmas song coming out with the Pentatonix.
Yes,
so we're going to be playing that as well.
Yeah, so we have them coming up. And as well, we have our friends at TMZ kicking us off.
Our bestie.
As well.
Michael.
It's not Michael today.
Michael's out sick.
We have one of Michael's colleagues. Normally, I don't know how you drew the short straw today, but we appreciate it.
No, I know, right? I was trying to hide out at my desk, and then they said, hey, Michael's out sick, so you're going to come up to play.
All right, thank you so much. Can you introduce yourself to our audience? Because Michael's our regular, but we wanted to get to know the whole team here. We've obviously talked to Harvey and Charles. Yeah, absolutely. My name is Branson Quirk. I'm a producer here. And I do some of the other stations on the other side of the country, like Seattle and others. So, well, welcome,
I'm here with you guys.
Welcome to Chicago Now, Branson. Really appreciate you being here.
Name.
I agree. That's a cool name. Okay, I understand, Kevin. This has taken us back to the early 2000s here. Kevin Federline, Britney Spears making headlines. What's the situation?
Yeah, so we just in the last 24 hours have seen a lot of hints from from Kevin Federline, Britney's ex-husband, in his new memoir that comes out next Tuesday called You Thought You Knew. Now, so far, we've seen some tidbits about some cheating, the fact that he revealed that he found her with another woman on a wild night in Amsterdam, that being one which almost led to him leaving her. And then another moment he talked about, too, was the fact that he stumbled upon Britney Spears on the phone with Justin Timberlake the night before their wedding, the night before they said I do to each other. And he revealed that she begged him to understand that she was basically just giving Justin a final send-off. And then, of course, we had Kevin on TMZ Live yesterday to ask him about the conservatorship, how he feels about it. And he said that in this book, he goes into that and more. And you have to read it just to see how he feels about the conservatorship. But he did say that everybody, including his kids and family, the friends, they're all very alarmed.
Oh.
My question is, if Britney is claiming that some of these things that he's writing about aren't true, could he be concerned about a lawsuit from Britney or from the conservatorship?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That's definitely a possibility. We're unsure about the details behind whether or not he's allowed to speak about some of these things. Did he sign an NDA at the end of the relationship? I'm thinking of Sam Asghari. When Britney and Sam had broken up, there were some conversations about that as well, and I believe he did sign an NDA to not talk about the details of their relationship after the divorce happened. So it sounds like if Kevin is able to write a whole memoir book about this, it could open up to a potential lawsuit, but you know, you never know.
Yeah, we'll have to see on that one. Let me ask you, Branson, about the timing on this. Why has it taken Federline so long to come out with this memoir, and any insight into why now?
Well, let me tell you this, and you guys can come up with your own opinion about this. So we know that the kids had been receiving child support all the way up till they were 18, and just recently Jaden turned 18, and that child support was completely cut off, and it was all agreed upon and everything. But people are now saying that this is very interesting timing, that Kevin decided to wait this long to reveal all of this right when that child support money stopped flowing in. And they were, you know, raking in a pretty penny from that child support living out in Hawaii. So it's safe to say that that's a possibility too. I'm not going to say that's a confirmed thing, but it's a possibility.
That just seems icky, doesn't it? Because at the end of the day, it's like they've got kids. That's the father of her kids. She's the mother of his kids.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah. How do you feel?
I gotta noodle that one. I gotta process that one. But I do think Branson brings up an interesting point. As soon as it runs out, the memoir is published.
And you know this is going to do really well.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this was top of headlines for so many years. Branson, what, you know, Britney Spears, in terms of mental health, I know that she has made headlines in recent months and years. There's been some kind of erratic, I guess for lack of a better word, erratic behavior kind of depicted on social media, where it's like kind of head scratching, like, are you okay? What is the status of Britney Spears since the end of the conservatorship, and in terms of her own well-being and mental health?
That's the thing, and we know that a lot of people are concerned. I mean, Kevin Federline himself said that family, friends are alarmed, and we've known about that for some time, family and friends being alarmed about Britney and her behavior. I mean, just thinking back to the moment, if you guys didn't see, there was a moment at the Chateau Marmont not long ago where she got into a fight with the man that she was dating at the time, actually the landscaper from her home, the maintenance guy. They ended up in a relationship of sorts, and they were hanging out. We know that the family was completely against that, and then it all came to a head when at the Chateau Marmont they got in this big blowout fight. Paparazzi caught a lot of it outside. It was really, really, really bad. And as of right now, the status is kind of unclear. I think it's the same, essentially. That's kind of what we've seen, is the sense that her family and friends are still very alarmed. I mean, just recently, she still is posting on Instagram. She is still dancing in interesting forms, which is not a bad thing. But hey, don't you guys remember when we saw her with all of the knives dancing and everything? So people are still alarmed.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that the conservatorship had ended. I forgot about that part.
Yeah,
So they're not going to be suing anybody. So speaking of Britney Spears speaking out about this book and about Kevin Federline, from what I understand, she's made a post on social media kind of poo-pooing this whole thing.
Yeah, so Britney Spears is completely firing at Kevin for writing this book, and we saw her team as well release a statement saying essentially the same thing. Britney kind of elevated that a bit in her own way, but it's along the lines of the same statement, in a sense saying that Kevin is just after a cash grab, he's after headlines. So when I see her post this, what I think is she's essentially saying that Kevin is making a lot of this stuff up. And a lot of people online, of course, a lot of Britney Spears fans, they believe that Kevin is making a lot of this stuff up and sensationalizing a lot of the headlines. I mean, going back all the way to 2004 to bring up a call with Justin Timberlake, it's like, really, you know, to her, it seems unnecessary.
Okay. All right, we'll see how the book does and what the fallout is. Want to switch gears, Branson, talk about Diane Keaton. The tragic news came down this past week. She passed away at the age of 79. I understand your newsroom caught up with a longtime friend of Diane Keaton. What did you guys learn?
Right. Well, for some time, we didn't know exactly the cause of death for Diane Keaton. We do know that the family has revealed that the cause of death was pneumonia, but they didn't go into too much detail about that. But we did speak to a longtime friend of Diane, and she said that this kind of didn't come as the biggest shock or surprise when she found out that Diane Keaton had passed away, because Diane had been dealing, and this is from the friend, that she had been dealing with an illness for some time, for a very long time. So this did not come as a surprise. But we do know, you know, so many people have spoken out in her honor, an outpouring of love for Diane, including the city of Santa Ana. Actually, just last week, the mayor is fighting to put a street topper on one of the streets, because this is her hometown, right near the high school that she had graduated from in Santa Ana. They're also looking at making a whole day dedicated to Diane Keaton in Santa Ana, California, her hometown. So it's just amazing to see all the outpouring of love, because, guys, this really came as a shock to a lot of people.
Do you know, are they going to have a public service or any way for fans to come together and honor her?
Not at the moment. We don't know whether or not that this is going to be a private service or not. I mean, we've seen a lot of public services for many celebrities in the past. So it really just comes down to the family, and honestly comes down to what Diane Keaton wanted herself.
All right, Branson, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time. It's nice to see you for the first time here on Chicago Now, making your Chicago Now debut. We hope to have you back sometime.
Right on, guys. Actually, this is my second time. I was on here a few months ago.
Oh.
When I heard I got to come back on, I was so excited to be with you guys, and meet both of you. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. We will check back in. We appreciate it, Branson. It is 10:13 back here in Chicago. We got a fun show here. The moment of truth is coming up, Caitlin.
After this commercial break?
Yeah.
That's when we're doing the eyeball thing?
We're ready? Yep, the eyeball thing. Okay, our friends from Griffin MSI's Eye Dissection show are waiting in the wings. We're going to catch up with them after we take this short break.
All right, welcome back. 10:15, and we are getting into some science, some eyeball stuff, if you will. Okay.
Biology.
So Griffin MSI's eye dissection show uses real cow eyeballs to explore common issues and illnesses in human eyes. So the show gives guests a chance to get hands-on during the live cow eye dissection, learning about how each part of the eye impacts how we see the world around us along the way. So we've got a couple different items here. I see some goggles, I see some fancier goggles, some gloves, and an eyeball under this table. So what are we getting into here?
So just like you said, we're going to get into the eyeball. So part of, as you said, the goal of the show is to talk about common eye conditions. And the best part about it is that we're able to get guests up. It's a completely free experience. We don't need a ticket for anything. Guests just come in and hang out, and we talk about eyeballs for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 3 times a day at the museum. It's great.
By the way, I didn't even introduce you. This is Eliza Tipton. Elisa. So you're the guest experiences supervisor.
Yes.
So are you going to be heading this off?
I am today, yes. When everyone comes to the museum, you'll get to see one of our awesome facilitators do the show.
Okay.
They partner up. There's lots of ridiculously delightful eye puns and jokes throughout the show.
Love it.
So if you want the dad jokes, come on and hang out with the facilitators. And yeah, I got to kind of help sort of put this program together last year. And then we handed it over to the team, and they have just taken it and run with it. It's been so much fun to see them interact with the guests every day.
So are we going to kind of do what you will be doing?
Yes.
At the
Let's rock and roll. And I put, by the way,
You're all ready to go.
Thank you for the PPE.
Absolutely.
The the eye covering actually scares me a little bit. Because it makes me think there might be, like, you know, you think eyeballs, like there's like might be like a splatter effect.
Well,
just in case.
Yes and no. I won't lie. We joke about a splash zone at the museum, but there have occasionally been projectiles.
Okay.
It's not often, thankfully, but our team always handles it, and it actually ends up being a highlight for the guests who get to do that. So yes, we're just going to kind of dive right in, just like
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. This is going to be truly eye-opening.
Exactly.
I am a dad,
so there you
by
go.
the way, so I get to say stuff like that. All right.
Ready for the dad
Love
jokes.
Exactly.
So we do, of course, we want to get all of our gloves, all of our goggles to protect ourselves. And we were very lucky that a lot of our supplies like this were sponsored by Medline. They were like, this is great. We love health science, and that's what we want to help out with. So they provided a lot of these things for us. So, and then, of course, we like to do a drum roll and a big grand reveal of the eyes.
Oh, boy.
Those aren't as cute as I thought they were going to be.
No, but the general consensus is that
They're
they
big.
never look like what you think they're going to look like.
Wow.
Is this because they've been out of the body for a little bit?
Yes,
because they're not very round.
But they're also from a cow, so they are going to be inherently bigger. They're bigger mammals than we are, and that's usually what we start with. We start with those external observations. So if you're interested and willing, go ahead.
I am willing. Caitlin, are you okay?
Yeah, sure. They look like mushrooms. Which one?
First of all, size-wise, I know we're going to talk about some of the similarities between the cow eye and the human eye. Size-wise, these seem very large.
They do seem very large.
Are our eyes that big behind the...
Not quite. The cow eyes are slightly bigger than ours are, but aside from a couple of very small things, they are very identical in terms of anatomy to human eyes.
Wow.
So is this a new... Oh, God. Look at the front of that thing.
Or is that the back of that thing?
Is this like, are we learning more now? Why now are we learning about human eyes with cow eyes? Or has this always been a thing and we're just bringing it to the public now?
Yes and no. So the museum has had an eye program off and on over the years. The difference between this one and previous programs that they did is that this one is a free program. Guests can just come on in. The old dissection program, it was really great. Guests loved it, but it was a ticketed experience, and so it wasn't quite as accessible.
Yes.
With this show, because we are in a larger space, we're able to get like whole field trip groups coming in. We're able to get all kinds of families coming in. We've found out very quickly kids who decided, hey, I wanted to be a vet, and then they come to the show and they go, never mind.
Maybe not. Yeah, exactly. Maybe not.
But then there's other kids that come in and they're like, oh,
and it lights a fire.
I want to be a doctor or a vet. We do scissors just for safety's sake, but again, we start with those external observations.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it.
Pick up an eye and tell me what you see.
Okay.
You can even use your fingers if you don't want to use the tweezers.
Okay, so first of all, the consistency is exactly what you would expect. She's very squishy. Which is kind of you're getting in there.
I'm getting in there.
I can't really. Let me take these things.
So this is the outside. This is the outside. This is what normally.
Yes.
I got to see these babies.
This would face the outside.
So this is going to be what faces the outside.
Okay,
You'll notice
right
that
there.
kind of bluish, cloudy looking.
Yeah.
That's actually the cornea.
Yeah,
And
because
the cornea is supposed to be transparent. It's like that step one of light entering our eye.
Yeah.
Right there. The cornea is nice and clear. It covers the iris. It covers the pupil. But obviously, these are no longer attached.
Yeah.
They're not getting nutrients, and they're not nice and clear anymore.
Right.
How old are these eyeballs?
These are slightly older. There apparently was an order of eyes put in shortly before the pandemic, and then the pandemic happened. So we're working our way through our back catalog of eyes at this point.
They've been frozen the whole time?
They've been nice and Ziploc sealed.
Okay.
Vacuum sealed.
Formaldehyde?
Not formaldehyde,
Okay.
actually. The company we use, we go through an education company, and they actually reduce the amount of formaldehyde almost to zero. So it's not formaldehyde.
Okay.
What is the dark circle around?
So that is going to be just part of the skin and part of the external anatomy of the eye. Again, with a cow, you are
squeezing
looking...
yeah, toward the camera. Can we?
Zoom in on that bad boy when she squeezes it. Give it a little squeak.
The cornea is supposed to be nice and domed like that when it's alive and fully healthy.
Okay.
And that's one of the first things we talk about in the show. We talk about how if a cornea, even in an alive, healthy human eye, is not fully round, that can be one of the causes of astigmatism, which is a very common eye condition that a lot of people have.
Right.
It's not just the cornea. Astigmatism can be caused by a couple of different things, depending on where in the eye it is. But because we're starting with those external observations, this is where we start with.
Okay.
And since astigmatism is so common, one of the most common things we get is, all right, who else has astigmatism? And like half the facilitators raise their hand, and then a third of the audience will raise their hand. So it's really great to get right into what makes it important for the guests every day.
Is this what a human eye would feel like?
If it were no longer attached and having sat there for a while, probably.
Oh,
yes.
really? So she's a squishy ball.
Just a little bit.
Okay, all right.
So we have our cornea. It's covering the iris right now. We have the white of the eye. It's called the sclera. You can kind of see it around here.
It looks like skin.
Is that the same thing as the white of our eye?
It's going to be similar, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very tough, fibrous tissue.
Yeah.
And then when you flip it over, like you notice, there's a whole lot going on in the back.
Yeah.
What do you see? What do you observe?
It looks, I mean, sorry.
Get in there.
There's like
Get in there,
everything
Anthony.
tastes like chicken. This looks like, this looks like, you know, when you have like a chicken on the bone and you need to marinate it or whatever. It kind of looks like that. I see some brown discoloration here.
And a little knob
And
at
what
the
looks
top.
like loose skin here.
Like loose skin. So the interesting
Oh yeah, that knob, that's right there on that one.
The interesting thing is that it's not discoloration or loose skin, but you're seeing some very important things. This kind of squishy, whitish, creamy looking stuff, that's fat.
Oh.
We have fat in our eyes too. It acts kind of like an airbag, like a cushion, so our eyes aren't just like rattling in our skull. We also have fat pockets around our eyes.
Okay.
That brown that you notice, that's going to be the muscles, because we do have muscles in our eyes.
Oh, wow.
Now, cows only have 4 muscles. Humans have 6 muscles. So, of course, we can do a couple of extra things, like looking crisscross sideways and rolling our eyes. I'm sure you love it when the kids do that.
The eye roll,
The eye roll.
All right.
And then that nub that you notice, that is the optic nerve. So that's going to be that data cable that's sending all the information into our brain.
If you get poked in the eye, or if you get, you know, something like a little Tabasco sauce in there.
All those
somehow,
sensations.
it goes through that optical nerve. Where is it on this one? Is it that right there?
This one is going to be that right there.
Okay, yeah, it's not as pronounced. How about, like, is this some of the fat as well, right there?
That's gonna be more
Okay,
fat, yeah.
got it,
The
got
cows
it.
are nice and fatty in that regard.
Okay.
So
All
we
right.
start with those external observations, and of course the guests usually get very into it. We do a couple of different extra activities that we'll do depending on the audience, if it's school kids or families or things like that. And the second stage is that we get into the eye.
Let's do it.
Let's do
All
it.
right.
Let's do it. You
Should
ready,
we peel
Caitlin?
the top off?
Well, this is where we're going to do the cooking show swap, like you noticed.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
You have
okay.
an eyeball that is already prepped. Thank you.
Pre-cut.
Okay.
So we've
you
trimmed off the fat, we've trimmed off that muscle, because the sclera is already pretty tough and hard to get through, and we want to make it easier for guests, especially if we have kids that come up and volunteer.
Wow.
So the second stage is we've made a little bit of a cut. I'll take this pin out here.
Yeah.
You can kind of see we've made this hole right here.
Oh,
At this point, we want to squeeze everything out.
Oh, God.
Caitlin's struggling.
That's
right now.
you.
Interesting.
I'll
You'll
do
do
it.
it?
I'll
Yeah.
do
So what you're going to do, you're going to hold the cornea right in your thumbs.
Okay.
You're going to aim that hole straight down at the tray.
Okay.
And just squeeze.
Just squeeze, okay.
This is the inside of an eye. Oh.
Oh, wow, there's a lot of fluid.
Ew.
A lot of fluid discharge.
Why is it so dark?
There's a couple of reasons. This is the part
You guys
where,
all right?
with our
I dare you to touch the liquid.
with our
Anthony.
exceptionally excited kids, this is usually where we get a little bit of offshoot.
Projectile, yeah. I'm glad I have the safety goggles on.
There was a little bit else going on in there. Can you squeeze a little bit more for me?
Ooh, sure.
And then flip it inside out.
Oh!
Oh!
Whoa, is that, did I get where we need to get?
Yes, that's
okay.
exactly.
Oh, whoa, that is interesting. Is this, what is that right there?
So that's actually the lens. You notice there's a lot of liquid happening. We have the lens right here, and the lens has some of this kind of jelly-like stuff.
Oh my! Okay.
You're welcome to go ahead, poke around. The kids definitely do.
That looks like one of those like sour candies, you know?
lens.
A little bit, yeah.
What are those?
Well, let's see. When I do go in for an eye exam, like every year, and sometimes they do when they dilate your eye and they take a shot of, they give you a little look. That was one of the first things I thought of here, because they're looking for like signs of disease as well, and it kind of reminds me of that right there. It's hard, by the way, for those at home. It's like a pea. It's like a hard. It's not marble hard, but it's like.
This is the point where we start making chickpea jokes.
Chickpea, or a garbanzo bean. Yes.
Especially fun during the lunchtime show. It's really great when we get the food jokes going.
What's the liquid?
The liquid is going to be a combination of things. So in our eyes, we have two different called humors. I'm sure you've heard that word. It's a word for bodily fluids in various ways. We have the aqueous humor and the vitreous humor, and they're in slightly different areas of the eye, and they do slightly different things. But basically, they're there to help provide nutrients and support the shape of the eye. The aqueous humor is going to be that more liquidy, watery fluid. The vitreous humor is going to be more of a jelly-like substance.
Gross.
And of course the lens, you notice it is hard.
Yeah.
A living lens and a healthy lens is actually going to be more flexible, more like kind of an Orby, because it actually needs to be able to move and focus in and out on things as you're looking around every day. It's also, of course, going to be transparent and clear, like the cornea should be, but ours
But it's not. Yeah, so it's a clear lens just like on a camera.
Exactly right.
Okay.
And now one of the eye condition we talk about at this point is cataracts, because cataracts form on the lens. The lens is going to be made of different proteins, and over time, based on genetics or health or age, all sorts of factors, they can start breaking down and make little clumps of protein, which act like smudges on the lens, which make vision a little cloudy. So this has been really interesting when we get guests coming in talking about, yeah, I got diagnosed with cataracts, I have to do this, I have to do that, or I had to do this, I had this surgery, I had this procedure. And then we get to learn from them about their own health, and it's absolutely fascinating. We had one guest who was a little concerned because they had to go to their doctor that next week, but being able to see it up close, they were like, oh, I actually feel a little bit better.
Really? I would be the exact opposite. I would rather be like,
oblivious.
Fingers in my ears, la la la, your eyes closed, la la la.
I've got a question.
Oh, go ahead.
When you get LASIK eye surgery, so this is like inside. So this is a lens that they work on. Do they have to peel back this top layer part?
They will have to get
the retina. The cornea. This is the cornea.
So this is like the blanket that covers the good stuff.
Exactly right. So yeah, underneath this cornea is going to be the iris, and we'll actually show it when we get inside the eye here in a second. And of course, the pupil is going to be the black dot. It is literally a hole that's protected by the cornea.
Oh, you're kidding.
So then that lens sits behind it, and there's muscles inside the iris called the ciliary body. We'll see those here in a second also. And that's what flexes the lens in and out. So when they do different types of eye surgeries, they do have to move the cornea out of the way to get into the lens. We had one guest come in and they showed us the hole in their iris from where they actually had a lens removal surgery. It was absolutely fascinating.
Wow. All right, so we're going to go deeper.
We're going to go deeper.
Okay.
Do you want to, or are we just watching?
Let's go.
All right.
Caitlin, Cody, I'm proud of you.
Through my nose.
I'm proud of you.
You're going to just, whatever your dominant hand is, righty? So you're going to put your left hand down right here on the tray. I'm going to tuck the eye into the crook between your thumb and index finger right here.
Great.
You're gonna make that C shape. And actually, let me get some paper towels. I'm gonna dry this off just a little bit.
Yeah, she's a little slippery.
The humors are a little slimy. But you're gonna pick up one of these pairs of scissors and you're going
Caitlin.
to cut. Another food joke, be warned, we call it the bagel cut. You're just gonna cut all the way around and open it up like a book.
All right,
good?
Great.
Okay, so just watch out, watch out for these fingers underneath, that you don't cut those as well. These are, I'm actually gonna have you kind of brace your hand here, and let's open these fingers up a little bit. So let's kind of like almost flatten your hand out, right like that, to give you a bit more stability.
Okay.
Because these are also Medline scissors, so these are actual medical grade surgical and dissecting scissors. So we definitely want to be careful with...
Paging Dr. Cody.
You want to be careful with the cutting process.
You are wanted at the medical wing.
Look at you go.
But the team loves these scissors. We started off with classic education dissection scissors, and cutting through the sclera is tough. It's supposed to be, you want it to be.
Wait, this is tough?
normally, but we got the new scissors not too long ago.
These scissors actually look slightly familiar to me. I remember cutting the umbilical cord a couple times.
Oh, these are the same scissors?
They look like it, yeah.
They might be very similar.
This might be the same consistency, too.
And that umbilical cord was tough.
Do I look like a...
You look so professional.
Like a surgeon?
This is the bagel cut.
I should start an Instagram page. Wait, where's the other end of this cut?
You're getting there.
Almost there.
Oh, okay, she's there. Now what?
There you go. So now we're just going to flip it open.
Well done.
Oh,
well
why is it
done, Caitlin Cody.
so dark in there?
So black in there.
It is. I don't know if we can kind of see. There we go. We have a couple of different things going on.
Don't worry.
Here.
The viewership at home has already finished breakfast.
Yeah, whoever's still with us is...
they're probably
they're in it now.
Yeah, you're in it for the long haul, guys.
Glued to the screen.
So again, we talk observations. What do you observe?
Okay, so I observe like the hole right there. I actually looks kind of familiar, like a cat.
It does, yes.
Yeah.
So that is going to be the pupil. You can kind of see it right there, that little almost faded oval in the middle. And then that black, it almost looks like the underside of a mushroom cap.
Sure.
That's the inside of the iris and the ciliary body muscles that hold the lens in place and actually flex it in and out. So we can usually drop the lens right back in here, and you can see on the edge of the lens where it connects into the ciliary body, some of that ring of leftover muscle tissue.
Sure.
What's on the other side? What's the hole on the other side?
So this is a whole bunch of stuff. You can kind of see there's this layer of tissue right here. It's almost like kind of grayish. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So it looks kind of like tissue paper.
Ew.
This one is actually still in pretty good shape. A lot of times we get in and it's fully degraded, and that's what some of this black bit is. That's going to be the retina.
I was wondering about the retina.
Where does the retina go?
So the retina sits along the back of the eye, and in humans, it's right there on that back layer. In cows, it sits in front of this blue layer right here. That blue layer is called the tapetum lucidum, and it's like a mirror. So we actually don't have one of those.
Whoa.
That helps with night vision. So of course, if you have a pet at home, a dog or a cat, you see those laser beam eyes?
Yes.
That's what
you're driving down the street, you see it in like
this right here, that is the retina. Oh, the blue is the retina?
The blue is the tapetum. This goopy stuff right here that's kind of barely hanging on is the retina.
That's the retina.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, so when you see the raccoons at night, or you see the cat down the street, and you see that color shining out of its eyes, it's the light hitting that mirror. It sits behind the retina, and it acts like it helps give the retina a double dose of light, so they have better night vision than we do.
What is the function of the retina?
So the retina is the group of cells that processes all of the light information.
Okay.
Humans, we have two different types of what we call photoreceptors, rods and cones. You might have heard about those.
Yeah.
Other animals have different kind. I know some of our folks like to talk about the mantis shrimp, which they think has like 14 different types of photoreceptors or something like that. But for humans, we have two types, rods and cones. The rods typically help with like shadows and movements and things like that, and the cones, of course, are the color receptors. So we have three types of cones: red, blue, and green. And this is where we end up with color blindness or color spectrum deficiency. Because color blindness isn't just an all or nothing, red, green only. It is a whole spectrum of things. And this is one of the things we do during the show, is we show those color blindness tests. We've inadvertently diagnosed a few kids potentially, but we always make sure to remind parents that we are not doctors at the museum. We just love talking about eyeballs, so please check with your optometrist later. But the color...
I feel like you could be an optometrist at this point.
At this point,
enjoy the eyes. I do enjoy it.
You are very informed. Okay.
But the color spectrum deficiency happens there in the retina. If the cones can't process light the same way that, like, quote, healthy cones might do, or if there's something slightly different about them, it can cause issues with seeing certain shades of color. It's like, I think something like 12 million Americans have some sort of color spectrum deficiency, so it's something pretty common across the board.
You wonder, too, like, if red looks different to me than it does to you, but we just label it red.
Well, and that's something that is actually very likely purely because of biological differences.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been diagnosed with color spectrum deficiency. You probably haven't either, but we likely still see colors slightly differently just because of our inherent genetic differences.
Wild. Okay, so we're getting the wrap, but we have to know what these cool items are.
So these are, we can also take gloves off at this point.
Okay.
For those of our guests who come in and they're not super interested in the biology aspect of it, which is very, very common. We do have this activity that we have out on the floor every now and then throughout the day. We call this the upside down vision, or these are the inversion goggles.
Okay.
So you can also take the safety goggles off at this point because you'll want to put these on. You can hold them up or put them all the way on. And what these do, they have prisms here. Oh, yes.
Oh, do you think the juice got through these gloves?
It shouldn't have, but we have it just in case. They're nice medical gloves, so hopefully not.
All right.
And these have prisms inside them, so they will actually invert what you're seeing. Now, when light comes into the eye and it passes through the cornea, passes through that lens, it is getting bent onto the retina. And if you can kind of see here, the retina is still a little bit connected to where that optic nerve goes through. And by the time it gets into the retina, a lot of times the image has actually been flipped upside down and your brain flips it back up.
Whoa.
I've heard about this.
Whoa.
So these turn everything back the upside down.
So this is if you didn't have that ability.
These also, because of the shape of the prisms, these do also mirror. So if you try to read something, it will be a little backwards. But it's very fun watching guests walk around the museum trying to navigate the spaces.
Oh yeah, that makes you sick for sure.
It does. You're not obligated to keep it on at all if you're not comfortable.
Is it true that if you were to have these on 24/7, that your brain would eventually flip it the other way?
That is what scientists have studied. Yes, that if,
I'm not willing to put that to the test, but
flips it back up right or not, I'm not 100% sure, but it does adapt, and you're able to function very normally after just a week or so if you wore these all day long.
Does anybody have theirs flipped when they're born, like the wrong way?
Ooh, I have no idea. That'd be a fun thing to research.
You
I'm gonna go look that up.
Hey, let them know it came from me. That is wild. I want to touch my eye because I have an itch, but now I'm nervous. Like I got
fascinating stuff. Fascinating stuff. That was educational.
That was.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Elisa or Elisa? Elisa. Okay. Elisa Tipton. Oh, and before we go to break, how do folks check this out if they want to do it in person?
So we do it 3 times a day at 10:30, 12:30,
oh, you're kidding.
and 2:30.
Wow.
And since it's no ticket, you just walk in the doors and come.
So you guys have a plethora of eyeballs.
That's so
we have a plethora of eyeballs. The theater space where we do the show is down by the Ferry Castle, if you're familiar with where that is.
Yeah.
So of course we have the folks that come in and they're like, Ferry Castle or eyeballs. It's a wonderful choice. We love getting to navigate that conversation, but we're right there next to the Ferry Castle. So come and hang out. And
you guys, it's so worth it.
Thank you
the kids.
so much.
They will remember this forever.
Yes, indeed. We're going to go to a quick break right now, but one of the leaders of one of Caitlin's favorite bands, or groups, I should say, Pentatonix.
I'm actually from the Dallas area where they originated.
Amazing. Okay, we're going to speak with him when we come back after this short break, everybody. Stay with us.
That's it.
Should play the song. Come, they told me, ba-rum-ba-ba. You guys, we've been talking since the beginning of this show that Pentatonix, they have my favorite song of all time. My favorite song is The Little Drummer Boy. Look it up on YouTube. and your whole day will be made. Okay, so we are lucky enough to be joined by a member of the group, Pentatonix,
There they are.
multi-platinum. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Gents.
Hi.
It's a big moment for Caitlin.
Oh my gosh, Caitlin.
Do you know what
Thank
song
you.
I'm
Little
talking
Drummer Boy
about?
is a great song. Of course. You're a queen of taste. Little Drummer Boy is a good one.
Literally, I get goosebumps every single time, you guys. Oh, you're such a joy. All right, so the reason why we're having Scott, as well as his husband, Mark, on is because they have now ventured into authorhood, if you will.
Yes.
You guys have written a child's book.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, how cute. Okay, so let's get into it. Why and how did this start, and what are the details of this new book that you wrote?
Yeah, we got into the children's book space because we're starting a family. We just announced that we're having a child.
Congrats.
And we are just so... Thank you. Thank you. Like, as we start this beautiful journey of our life, we wanted to write books that we could read to our future kids. And so this one, it's a holiday book called Fa La La Family, and it's about how families can look all different types of ways, especially during the holidays. It doesn't always have to be the conventional family. It can be a mom and you. It can be a dad or two. It can be a furry friend, chosen family. Family is community, and we believe that family is just the people who love you for who you are, whoever who.
Was there anything that inspired you guys to, in particular, go for the children's book route when you started this journey? How did the seeds of this story kind of, how were they born?
Yeah, so we wrote our first children's book about a year ago, or published a year ago, called How Lucky Am I? All about a mayfly's life in 24 hours. And we loved that experience so much that we were like, we need to write a second book. And, you know, of course, because of Scott's career with Pentatonix, the holidays mean so much to us. So we knew instantly that writing a book about the holidays was something we felt really passionate about.
And we love, like, Pixar, Disney, Disneyland, just like those like memories you have and you make as a kid are so profound, and we just treasure those. Like, we're always playing Pokemon Go, like we do that. So we wanted to like make that for kids, and also teach kids that their story deserves to be told. Because we didn't see families that look like ours growing up in media, so it's just like cool to be able to spread that love and light out there.
Okay, you guys, so as a mom, when I'm picking out a book, especially if I'm purchasing a book for my kids, the illustrations are everything. And the message, of course, is important, but it plays so much into what you get out of a child's book. It's happy, it's bright. What was that process like, finding the right artist for your child's book?
Oh my gosh, it was so effortless. I feel like so our publisher sent us a bunch of illustrators. We went through all of them, and both of us at the same time were like, this amazing illustrator, Steph Lou, because she had the colors were so vibrant, and like there's so much emotion in all the characters she draws. And both times for both books we've done, when she sent the illustrations, we were like, perfection, no notes. It was amazing. And I love that, like, you're getting the story, these amazing illustrations, and also there's a whole album that comes with this book. If there's a QR code, you can hear a whole album about family. And one of my favorite parts is there's sheet music. You can sing along.
Yes.
Oh, sweet.
You get the sheet music too. That's perfect. By the way, the likeness that the illustrator got to you two, I saw you two sitting by the fire. It's really accurate. I mean, it really is accurate.
Thank you.
Okay, tell us about the creative process as well. How did you guys collaborate in terms of coming up with the words to go with the pictures?
Yeah, so initially, we wrote the book, and we found out the book is very similar to writing a song, and we've written countless songs together, so it was really seamless way to write this book was really just make it a song. And then as we made the book and the song, we sent pictures of our childhood home and our parents and our dogs and everything to Steph Lou, our illustrator, and she so beautifully translated those photos into the illustrations in the book. You'll even see like my childhood home in the book, the Filipino food and the Filipino feasts we'd have, as a kid, our dogs, our nieces and nephews. So she did a really beautiful job with that.
My question is, why Christmas? Obviously, it's making me want it to be Christmas today, but why did you pick this holiday to write your story around?
Oh my gosh, we just love the holidays. It's such a big part of our lives because I'm always working on Pentatonix Christmas stuff all year long. And also, like, my best memories are from the holidays when I was a kid. And also the holidays can be kind of a sad time for some people because they're like, I don't go home to family. We're part of the queer community. So like we have friends that don't go home for the holidays. And so we really like, it was important to us to spread the message of like family can be chosen family. You can have a Friendsgiving. You can like, all of us are like family in a way. And so, that was one of the reasons we wanted to make it a holiday book.
Well, that's good. Let's go on that theme of the Pentatonix and how much holiday music this time of year, well, I guess we have another month or so, means to the group. What do you guys have planned, Scott, for the group this time around? Are you guys going to be touring through this Christmas season? Paint a picture for us.
Oh yes, it's a big year. We did this really big new album called Christmas in the City that comes out next week, actually. It's one of our most, like, we have not been this proud of something in so long. Like, we are so proud of it. It's a beautiful, beautiful album. And then we're doing our biggest tour yet. We are starting November 6th through Christmas. And it's going to be a really big, beautiful tour. And I just can't wait for everyone to see all the stuff we've been working on. We've been working hard.
Do you know if you're coming through Chicago, or if not, how close are you going to get to the city of Chicago?
Yeah, we'll be in Chicago. I'm not sure what day.
Yeah.
But like we always come to Chicago.
Okay.
Gotta come to Chicago.
Gotta come to Chicago.
Mark, so are you traveling? Are you traveling with the whole crew throughout the whole season?
Yeah, I'll actually be. So I'm currently on Dancing with the Stars, so I'll be flying. Well, granted, we'll manifest it when I make it that far.
Yes.
I'll be flying and to Dancing with the Stars back and forth.
You're going to be a busy man.
That is so fun.
Hey guys, Mark and Scott. Okay, we are about to meet. This is after we go to break, but when we come back, we're going to meet this couple that met at a Meijer grocery store. Meijer actually reached out to us because they met in the checkout line. I got to ask you guys, how did you guys first meet?
Oh my God!
I love a meet cute. It's a really cute story. We met at this like bar hotel called Pally House. I was coming back from a shoot, and it was my friend's birthday party. I thought I was going to miss it, but the shoot wrapped early, miraculously. And he had just moved to LA and had we had a mutual friend, and we met that night at Pally House.
Yeah,
there we go.
It was a very
So sweet.
Good thing that shoot ended early, or they might not sit here today. Right? Good luck with the book launch. It was so nice to meet you guys. And Caitlin, by the way, played me Little Drummer Boy before we even went on air today. It was absolutely gorgeous, and it gave me goosebumps too. I cannot wait to check out all of your other Christmas stuff. There it is. The harmony, I mean, I love the arrangement
I'm obsessed with you guys.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys both. Early happy holidays. Congrats on the book. Good to see you. Thank you.
We love y'all. Thank you.
It's a dream come true.
I know, Caitlin, big show for you. All right, we're going to go to a quick break, everybody, but when we come back, as I mentioned, back in March of 2020, two strangers who had lived 5 miles away from one another for years. They had no mutual friends. They had not crossed paths. They happened to stumble upon one another in the checkout line of a grocery store. We're going to meet them and hear their love story when we come back. Love is in the air.
Yeah.
I like it. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Can you feel the Christmas spirit when you hear the harmony? When you
Okay, so this hits really close to home, you guys. I'm a Michigander.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
Me too.
And Meyer is a Michigan-based grocery store.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Michigan.
Have you guys seen that Instagram video of where the guy goes with like the red paint to put an S on the end? Because we pronounce it Myers.
Yes.
That's so funny. I love it. I wish I had a Meyer by my house because they have everything.
My mom's obsessed with Meyer, too.
It's like a Walmart, but smaller.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Okay, so we are talking about the checkout line I Do love story. These two folks came together during the pandemic at a Meyer, a meet cute, if you will, and then they ended up getting married. You guys lived 5 miles away from each other and had no mutual friends. Can you walk us down this love story that you guys have been sharing?
Honestly, it was a lot of persistence. Like, we met during the pandemic. We had both lost our jobs, so we kind of had to pivot a little bit and start doing something different during that time. Jenna was working as a cashier at Meyer, and I was delivering groceries through Shipt, which is very similar to Instacart, things of that nature. And I would just beeline for her checkout lane every day. I would just almost every trip that I could take through the grocery store, I would put myself in her checkout lane just for an excuse to talk to her and get to know her a little bit more. One of the perks of her job was it was her job to have to check me out. She hates that dad joke, but I can't help it. It's one of my favorites. So just small talk to begin, and then from there we started having more serious conversation because you can only see somebody so many times before you want to know a little bit more besides how the weather is outside.
Right.
So
he finally got the guts to ask for my phone number. He asked for a piece of receipt paper, and I assumed it was something for like Shipt related, like just needed to make a note, and then he slid it back to me, and I was like,
oh, you were?
Yeah.
And was the question, can I get your number on that, or was it his number?
It was his number giving it to me.
Oh, my goodness.
So yeah, ball was in my court. I was like,
Hey,
all right.
hey, you put yourself up.
I don't remember if we had talked about it or if I had just decided to just
let
shoot
it
my
try.
shot.
Shot a shot.
Yeah,
There was no ring on the finger
No.
at the
No
time,
ring yet.
so-
And Jenna, let me ask you this. He said that he would find any excuse to go into your line. At what point did you notice that, hey, this guy is maybe making an effort here?
I kind of picked up on it, but then I actually had a friend visit me at work and was like, that guy's coming around a lot. Like, he's specifically waiting to talk to you. I'm like, no. And then I'm like, maybe he's got a point. So after that, I was like, maybe he does want to talk to me more than your average grocery store employee.
Okay, so Maddox, with
Yes.
Shipt, can you pick like which orders you fulfill, and were you only fulfilling the Meyer ones at this time?
You can, and I was definitely leaning that direction. However, the bank account did force me to go other places, but any time that I could, I was trying to go there. And it was also convenient that it was the closest location to my apartment at the time, so it's the least amount of effort, the least amount of travel, added perk of getting to see her every day, multiple times. So
Yeah.
it definitely was skewing that direction.
All right, so where did things go from there? Okay, so the numbers exchange, you got the number, you obviously dialed. How did the love story unfold from there?
So
Because we just saw your amazing wedding pictures
Beautiful.
there. Absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
we were talking, and I told him I was going for a run. It was a walk. It was going to be a walk. And he goes, well, can I come along? I'm like, sure, absolutely.
Cardio day for me too. Let's go
great.
together.
So he met my dog for the first time, and it was, I mean, a lot of things were closed, so it was just a lot of like park dates. We went to the drive-in movies, anything to try and still see each other and have some semblance of normalcy.
Yeah, this is like peak pandemic. I mean, we're talking about like, you know, masking up, and social distancing, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Are you guys milking this with Meyer? Have they a wedding, or are they sponsoring a honeymoon vacation?
A honeymoon vacation to Michigan. No, we do have plans for a honeymoon next spring. We just got back from what we call a mini moon in Lake Geneva. But yeah, we're just happy that they're excited to share our story and chat with us, and it's been really nice.
I
Girl,
really
let's get
like
some
it.
sponsors on here.
Exactly. We're always trying to scheme here on the show.
Go. Commercial.
You know, this is interesting because when we talk about new love stories, so many of them start online. And with these apps, how unusual are you getting the impression? How unusual is it for you guys to actually have a non-like internet or dating app origin story?
Well, it's actually pretty funny. Like one of the first times Jenna had met my extended family, we were out to brunch with some of my cousins, and my cousin had brought his new girlfriend as well. And they asked like, oh, how did you guys meet? And they spun a yarn about, oh, we met at the grocery store and we reached for the same pineapple at the same time and our hands touched, and they spun this complete yarn. They're like, oh, we were just messing with you, we met online. And so they
we got so excited, we're like, we met at the grocery store too.
And they turned to us, they're like, how did you guys meet? Oh, we met at the grocery store, but actually.
Oh, I love that. That's so sweet.
Yeah, it's one of those moments where I feel like it was just kind of like a trust your instinct, and I knew like as we started to talk more and started to flirt more, we just kind of clicked and just knew like this was a jump that I needed to take, and it worked out beyond anything I could have ever imagined.
So what would you say to someone who is watching and maybe is nervous to be shut down, for them to shoot their shot? Because I know a lot of women that I've talked to who are single, they want to meet their significant other in an organic way. So what gave you the confidence to give your number to her?
I think we had been, establishing enough of a rapport and kind of flirting back and forth that, it seemed natural. So she really kind of opened the door by letting me know I wasn't just throwing it out there on a Hail Mary, that there was at least some intention of reciprocation. So I think, just being able to read those signals, trust your gut, and don't be afraid to prioritize it over other things. Like, full transparency, and I hope the statute of limitations on grocery delivery doesn't get me in trouble here. I was late to dropping off orders because I was sticking around. I was sticking around to talk to her, and I had a customer reach out and like, hey, just want to make sure you're still on your way. I'm like, full transparency. I didn't lie. I was like, hey, I'm stuck flirting with this really cute cashier, and the couple that I was delivering to, I remember even now the text was like, oh, take your time. Like love doesn't wait, so just being present, staying, in tune to some of those little signals, and just like trusting your gut in the moment.
Jenna, what is next for you guys? Well, what is next for you guys? Are you did you get an apartment, a house? Like, have you done the whole, we're moving in, we're gonna kick off the family? How long ago were these pictures taken, for example?
This was just this last weekend.
That was Saturday. Yeah, we got married. We just got married.
I didn't realize this.
Yes.
On Saturday.
Yeah, we just got married on Saturday.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
But yeah,
that's in the business we call that bearing the lead. Man, okay.
But yeah, I moved in with him in 2022.
Okay.
We share our townhouse with the queen of the castle, the cat, and 2 dogs. We have sworn that we will not get another dog until we get a bigger space. So definitely looking for a home and plenty of yard for the pets, and being able to have space to invite family where you're not like sitting on top of each other. But yeah, we're excited to do more travel. It was a big debate, debating where to go for our honeymoon, so we finally settled on Greece.
Wow. Good choice.
And we're very excited to, I'm the travel nerd where I get excited to break down the itinerary and see, okay, we can see this and this in the same day, so lots of adventure.
Just go along for the ride.
Yeah, that's
perfect,
hey,
right?
That sounds great.
Hey, it's a win.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Guys.
Appreciate it.
Oh my gosh.
And call Meyer.
This was so recent.
Meyer, they're
Jenna
going to
and
Greece.
Really good. Yeah, Meyer, hey, pop for it. Yeah, we're sending them to Greece, everybody. Congrats to you too. Thanks for joining us here on Chicago Now. And we are back with another hour of Chicago Now right after this.
This.
o'clock hour, Chicago Now. I'm Gabriella Primus.
I'm Jake Hamilton, filling in for Tia, who is on assignment, I think going to be live in the noon show.
Yeah, you know, she's very important. She has
She
places
is.
to be.
As are you and as do you. You just came back from which story on GDC this
Oh
morning?
yeah, I was at Loyola, and
Yeah.
we were covering Sister Jean's funeral, 106 years old. She passed away last week.
What a life.
But the chaplain of the men's basketball team, so remember her from 2018, the Final Four, sporting the yellow and burgundy scarf and the Nikes and the Letterman jackets. So cute.
Did you ever have the chance to meet her?
No, I didn't.
No, neither did I. Even with all of like the basketball coverage that we did, when they went as far as they did, it just was never one of those assignments that ever crossed my path. But
all of her appearances, and she's just cute. You know, even though it's sad, you know, that she passed last week, it still was a happy, story. There's a lot of great energy on campus.
Of course.
Coming from far away, some to be there for the service this morning.
And we were doing the math in the newsroom when you talk about 106. The moments in history that she lived through.
1919 she was born.
I mean, think about everything that's happened in this country, in the world since 1919.
I don't think I had an opportunity today just to sit back and think about that.
Yeah.
Really think, because you're so
yeah, I mean, she would have been a teenager during World War II. Like, she would have, I mean, just every major historical event she would have lived. She would have been a child, but she would have lived like during the Great Depression. Like, just it's an incredible. Like, she, and I hope that enough people who surrounded her really got the chance to, obviously lived an incredible life, but also just got her perspective on things. Sometimes it's just a matter of like, you were alive during this moment in history. What do you remember about that? I mean, I remember, unfortunately my grandma didn't live to that age, but I used to love just getting her perspective. What do you remember about, the day Kennedy was assassinated? Just these moments that you were just around for, and it's just
read in history books.
Exactly.
And that's why it's important, if your grandparents are still with you, or even older neighbors, record that stuff.
Exactly.
That's something I've told my grandma a million times. I need to sit down with her and I need to record some of her stories, because that's just invaluable. Something to look back to one day.
I got both of my parents for Christmas recently, and I don't think they filled it out, and I'm gonna nudge them on this. It's like this book that just has a bunch of prompts.
Okay.
That just kind of yield them asking questions that maybe would be better. Anthony Ponce was saying, because this actually, weirdly enough, I don't know if you know this. This perfectly segues into our Ben Stiller interview in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
But Anthony was saying that he did a thing recently where he went on a trip with his dad and just asked him and recorded all the questions that he wanted to know. And he doesn't know what he wants to do with it. He said he still has it. He still has all the footage and the audio and everything. And he doesn't know what he wants to do something with it. But I thought that's such a brilliant idea. Just like, while you're lucky enough to have them, ask all the questions you've wanted to ask.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Anyways, it was great over on the Loyola campus, and it's great to see too that it's not just the people obviously who'd met her before, but I was talking to freshmen and sophomores early this morning on campus, walking through, and they all said like, "Hey, look, Sister Jean was like their mascot."
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
And that they live by her 3 W's: worship, work, and win.
Love it.
That is so strong.
Those are good ones.
Almost all of them said the same thing, and I was like, wow, for it to be, 5 out of 5 interviews.
I love that.
Those 3 W's, that must mean that she made quite an impact on the young people.
And people talk about sort of that symbolism of like the second life that you live. Like after you're gone, there's that second life, and it's people talking about you.
Yeah,
and if that's hers, if that's the message that she's left with, young students who maybe never had the chance to meet her, or journalists who never had the chance to meet her, and here we are, it's still talking about her and the 3 W's she stood by. Like that's a good second life.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about what's coming up on the show, because man, do we have an interesting.
We've got a wild lineup.
You are the movie guy.
Yes.
Have you seen 40-Year-Old Virgin?
I have. I have seen 40-Year-Old Virgin. Yes, I have.
We have a sweet Chicago version coming in, and she is now an author, and she's sharing her experience with abstinence into a guide for others navigating a similar path.
And the book has a really interesting title. It's in our car somewhere. My Life Without Sex, a 40-year-old virgin shares how to set boundaries to wait for sex. I've got a lot of questions.
I do too. I'm excited to chat with her.
Yeah, and that's going to be a fascinating conversation. Also, listen, I don't always get to do this show, but I am always happy whenever I get to do it, and it coincides with food being on the show. And we got Pizzeria Due is here. And I didn't know, sometimes, unfortunately, we have to do these things via Zoom. This is not via Zoom.
No, this is in person. And I told you right before the show, man, I'm pretty hungry right now.
I know, and then you like perked up. I love that we had about 90 seconds till we were air. I instantly start looking to be able to grab.
It's so sweet.
Oh, right. I mean, I don't know what I was going to grab.
You told me you were hungry.
I would have brought you something because we knew we were doing the show together. I would have brought you something.
But they are turning 70.
Wild.
And I think
of the stories they've lived through.
That spot, but their spot that's like a sister restaurant is I think the founder of Deep Dish Pizza.
I love it.
So we're gonna have to chat with them.
I got a lot of questions. You're gonna ask the question, I'll do the taste test.
Okay. What about Ben Stiller though?
So this is actually, it's funny enough. This weirdly, you didn't do this on purpose. This ties into the conversation we were having about Sister Jean and this conversation about asking our parents questions. So I don't know if you know this. Yeah, Ben Stiller had two iconic comedian parents, Ann Mara and Jerry Stiller, and just iconic comedians long before he was who he was today. And so he has created, directed, written this new documentary, which is all about him attempting to go back through files and videos and home footage and really kind of learn about who his parents were, because they both were comedians and they both sort of put their relationship out there for us. But like all of us who put our lives out there, we also live lives in our homes that there are aspects of ourselves that we don't always put out there within this frame. And I think he's trying to coincide the two. So I think we have a little preview, guys, right? All right, so here's a little preview of the trailer.
We come from a showbiz family.
And now the comedy of Stiller and Mira.
Jerry Stiller and Ann Mira.
Ann Mira and Jerry Stiller.
We grew up around.
Documentary. It starts streaming on Apple TV Plus next week. But what I find fascinating about his parents is that because they lived such long lives in front of a camera on pop culture, really how you know them or what you most know them for probably depends on how old you are. Like I grew up knowing Ben's dad from Seinfeld.
King of Queens.
King of Queens, exactly. They were also, they were in a lot of Ben's movies. They're both seen, and you can see them in Zoolander. They were also in a movie with Ben that I loved as a kid. I'm curious if Anthony and Natalie told me they never saw this. Did you ever watch the Disney movie Heavyweights as a kid?
Heavyweights?
Yeah. About the kids that go to fat camp?
It does not ring a bell.
I love that. They were all in that together. So basically, I had the chance to chat with Ben about this new documentary he directed about his parents, and I kind of wanted to talk about when people talk to him about his parents, is what they want to bring up dictated basically by how old they are.
Okay.
Mr. Stiller, good to see you again, sir. How are you?
Nice to see you. Is that really Chicago behind you?
Yes, sir, it is.
It's a beautiful day.
I see Dad working so hard and Mom just letting it flow.
I'm going to start out with a confession, sir. My first introduction to your incredible parents was my obsession with the movie Heavyweights.
Never let anyone sign your checks.
Which I watched a lot as a kid. I'm sure when people approach you about your folks, I'm sure you get a lot of Seinfeld and a lot of Archie Bunker's Place. I don't know how often you get Heavyweights, but I'm sort of curious, do different generations dictate how people relate to you about your parents? And please tell me that you love Heavyweights as much as I do.
I love Heavyweights.
That is out of here, mister.
One of the most fun experiences ever with Judd and Steve Brill and everybody. I mean, it was just the best. And my parents. And yeah, people know my parents from, different generations know them. Either my dad from Seinfeld.
To think I almost split the profits on the man's ear with you. Bro. Man's ear! Bro!
King of Queens.
Can I see him? You can see him fine from right there. Wow!
Some people know my mother from being on Archie Bunker's Place or different television shows.
Who are you?
The health inspector.
Oh, my God.
Or, people my age or older might know them from, the work they did on Ed Sullivan and all those shows. But, this movie, for me, making the movie was sort of about, trying to do something about what they did as performers. But then it really became more about, trying to tell the story of their relationship, and then it turned into like, well, our family, because it felt like that was all interconnected, you know?
Whatever you say, I'll hear you forever. You'll never be lost.
Oh, that is so sweet.
It's such a beautiful film, and you know, one of the other things that he and I talked about was this idea of, and we were just talking about this, asking the questions you want to know the answers to while they're around. You know, I asked him about, you know, he's going through this footage and he's learning things about his parents. And were there things that he didn't even think to ask until now? Unfortunately, both of his parents are gone. And he said, yeah, he said, you know, that's kind of been the hard part about this. He goes, I didn't think to make this film while they were still here and while they were still with me. And he goes, it wasn't, you know, I'm going through all this footage. And he goes, just now I'm coming up with all these questions. So in addition to being this really beautiful film about two really great comedians who were such a part of sort of that birth of late night TV and sketch comedy and stuff, that it's also kind of a reminder for everybody of you know, appreciating your parents while they're here. Shout out to my mom who's watching the show right now. She says you look great.
My mom and dad are probably watching as well.
Shout out to them. I love them, by the way. I got to talk to them a little bit.
And happy birthday to your mom.
Yeah, it's her birthday tomorrow. Yeah, she's coming into. It's on Friday. She's coming into Chicago. So yeah, to that point, it's about appreciating them and also like really think about what it is that you want to know, because when they're not around anymore, you don't have them to ask. So you come up with those questions. Do the thing Anthony did. And go on a trip and ask all the questions you always wanted to know. I'm going to force my mom and dad to fill out that book that I got them.
I mean, we all have our cameras on our phones. We can take a quick video and put it on a private link on YouTube. Yeah. It's really that easy.
Exactly right.
Think of it.
Just to have that.
But you're right. When I initially thought, okay, Ben Stiller making a documentary about his parents, like, oh, is that going to be interesting? But then you explain it, and then you see the clips. You're like, wait a second. Yes, this would be super interesting. First of all, look who his parents are. And we know what an impact he's made on the industry too. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, you know, a good movie makes you sort of see the story on the screen. A great movie makes you see the story within yourself. And this is one of those movies where you kind of walk away with both.
Jake, I love it.
Did I come up with that quote just now? Yes, I did.
Yeah, well, it was just magical.
Okay.
And that's why you're on TV.
That's usually why I have a teleprompter right in front of me, which we don't have on this show.
Was he nice, by the way?
Ben Stiller always is. Ben Stiller, I really love Ben Stiller. The thing about interviewing comedians, and I'm sure you've experienced this because you guys have big people on the show as well, a lot of times they're a lot more internal than you want them to be. Really? You know, a lot of times, or maybe my thing comes from us wanting them to be that character. You know, when you.
So you're saying like they're not as open.
Exactly. You know, yeah. You know, there's a degree of like, you know, when you interview Jim Carrey, you want him to be like, you know, or when you interview, you know, Steve Carell, there's a part of you that wants him to be Michael from The Office. Or when you interview Ben Stiller, you want him to do what are the looks he does in Zoolander? Blue Steel. Blue Steel. You want him to do those things, and then you're kind of humbled into remembering like, oh, like they're actors. Those are characters they play. In the same way Harrison Ford doesn't walk around with a whip and a fedora, you got to remember that there's a separation. The only person, I don't want to say the only, but the comedian who I had the chance to interview, who I would say was as funny constantly in person as he was on camera, was Robin Williams. Really? He was always the Robin Williams you knew from from Aladdin or Birdcage or countless classic comedy films. That's who you got when you walked into that interview room.
Wow.
But that's not always the case.
That's true. You know what? That's why I always ask you that question. Whenever you come in talking to a new celebrity, I want to know how they actually were.
Oftentimes, dramatic actors are the funniest ones. Like Meryl Streep is like Tom Hanks, or you know, among Denzel, among the funniest people.
Jake,
it's always you
have to bring me with so that I
Let's go. The danger of bringing you with is if I'm an actor, which one of us do you think I'd rather be interviewed by? I'm not looking at me. I'd rather be interviewed by you. I can't bring you because then I'm gonna lose my job.
Say more.
Can't. Speaking of terrible, awful things.
What?
Have you read what our next topic is? Okay, Love is Blind, which I have not seen. I've heard amazing things. The show Love is Blind.
I haven't either, so I don't know if we're going to have much comment on this.
Well, it's more about what they're talking about. So, you know, part of relationships is learning to eat differently. I'm
reading the headline now.
Yeah, have started eating better, you know, because I've started, you know, seeing someone, so I've actually been eating a lot healthier, far less Chipotle. I haven't had Chipotle in a long time.
So good.
I've been cooking
That's like
more
3
and eating.
meals in one.
I know. So, yeah, definitely in the sodium. But apparently there's a conversation, there's a plot line on the newest season of Love is Blind in which Megan from season 9 found out that her fiance, Jordan, has a signature smoothie that is referred to as the chicken smoothie. Do we have video of this? God help us all. Check it out.
We're just gonna do 8 ounces of chicken.
And how do you cook that chicken?
It's not cooked at all. I'm just kidding. I just bake it. Put it right about there. Put a little packet of Crystal Light in.
Oh.
And we just blend it.
Oh, I can smell it.
It smells like chicken. Who cares? So then we go cheers, and then you just chug it.
No. That is so fucking gross.
I'm sorry. I don't
could
get
gag.
it.
If that was any bigger,
yeah, if
I'm not looking at it in a small monitor, I'd be gagging right now. That is disgusting.
Water, baked chicken, and Crystal Light mix. If you missed the ingredients.
And she's still with it.
But okay, listen. I mean, I don't think that's not a deal breaker. I mean, like, listen, for each their own.
Funny. That's weird.
It's gross. But I guess if I could interview him, my question would be like. Well, yeah, because I mean, if you can cut up and scarf down a chicken breast fairly quickly.
That's true. Yeah, just eat.
Like if the whole concept is trying to get, because that's when you're trying to eat healthy and you're eating cleaner and you need the protein, you're eating a chicken breast, and that's great, good for you. Does it have to be like? Are you so limited on time in your life?
Use the Crystal Light as like a seasoning, I guess, if he really needs to mix.
You know what I do?
Or just stop.
I get a chicken breast, and I before I bake it, I put in a taco seasoning. I got to give it like a little and then I bake it, and then I put some rice with it. But you know what I don't do is put it in a blender.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't.
I think that's all for attention. Right there.
Yeah, that's.
Actually,
I mean,
don't know why I'm so
you're on a
mad about
reality show. I was saying you are actively upset about this.
But why? Like, she's laughing and smiling. She knew it was coming.
Wait, I have a question. Does the hubby have anything weird that he eats?
You know what? When he was playing hockey, he just like would eat for fuel rather than like actual enjoyment.
Sustenance.
And so I would go over and he'd have this Aldi chicken and no seasoning. He would just like be putting it in the oven as quickly as possible and then taking out and having broccoli next to it, also unseasoned, of course, and just scarfing it down and encouraging me to have some. And it just, it wasn't really my vibe. He just really was trying to eat healthy.
Well, also being an athlete and hockey, but, you know, that's...
It's funny, love him, but he likes things that I think would be really weird, but then dislikes things that I'm like,
sure. What would he say is the weirdest thing you eat?
I know exactly what it is.
Tell me.
It's weird, everyone. It's weird, but... and it's disgusting, but it's my personal peanut butter is my personal jelly.
Okay.
I like to take a spoon or a knife and I like to dip it in both. So it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich without the bread.
That's not. I thought it was going to be something gross.
Gross. What else?
I mean, if it's as long as it's your jar. My weird thing is I don't think it's gross.
You haven't showed the girlfriend yet.
I haven't what?
Yeah, you haven't.
No. She's kind of figured it out by this point. I don't like condiments.
And see, I'm different. I will put a condiment on anything.
See, I don't. I mean, I like
fire and ice here. No,
yeah, I don't eat ketchup with my fries. I don't put anything on burger. I like meat, cheese, and bacon on my burgers. Nothing. I don't want.
No, you're crazy because sauces are what make things fun.
No, like no, because people like when there are people who use fries as a vessel to put ketchup in their mouth. I don't need that. I like the fries the way God created them, just by themselves.
But if there's ranch, I'm gonna drench the.
What? A pizza's good. Okay, if we go to a steakhouse, are you putting? Are you asking for ketchup?
I'm asking for a side of ranch, probably.
For your steak?
For any kind of dressing. I don't care.
If you go to a fancy, if we're going to like Chicago Cut, are you ordering ketchup with your steak?
Not ketchup.
Wait, what?
Ketchup or ranch?
Yeah, ChicagoNOW. Oh, wow.
I'm a sauce connoisseur.
The way you look down on that dude and his chicken smoothie, and you're drowning every piece of food you have in ranch.
It's probably half my calories.
Wow. The judgments.
I love it.
The judgment, Gabby
hot
Primus.
sauce, yeah.
I do like buffalo
Salad
sauce. I'll do buffalo. I like buffalo sauce on like chicken.
Are you serious?
Buffalo sauce is boring. It's the flavor of the gods. What are you talking about? Ketchup. What is ketchup? It's sugar and tomatoes.
I'm telling you, you could put.
Don't give us the rap music. We're not done with this.
You could give me 15 sauces. And,
no,
no, don't show me this again.
Oh my God. It's so
Don't show me this again. It's disgusting.
There are so many videos we can't pull up on the show, but we're going to play this video again.
You're trying to tell me that is a sauce. That is not a sauce.
No, that's just
Brad.
gross. That's gross.
Disgusting and so wrong.
But I think condiments are gross. I think condiments are gross. I get it. I'm in the minority. I understand that. I understand that. Listen, I grew up in a house where, you know, everyone eats ketchup and everyone eats. I'm the weirdo.
Both sides of my fridge doors.
Yeah.
Full of condiments.
I have to buy, when my family comes to visit, I have to go to the store and buy condiments.
You could just come over to my place.
I might just send it over. Send it. My God. You know who I love?
How did we get to that topic?
I don't know.
Oh, because of the chicken smoothie.
This show got weird. You know who I love? John Hansen with Block Club Chicago.
Me too. We're going to be talking to him next.
After the break. You know what? Get him to weigh in on this. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Welcome back to Good Day Chicago, or Good Day Chicago.
Wow.
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 Guys, I woke up at 2:30.
Wow.
Please give me a break, and I'm just hot because of the sauce topic. Jake.
Did you guys hear that? You know who's never gotten the name of this show wrong? This guy. You know who else has never gotten it wrong?
John Hansen.
John Hansen.
I love this guy.
Look at him. He's so
John,
handsome.
how are you?
Look at him. He's like a young George Clooney.
If you don't know John, he's with Block Club Chicago, and you bring us all the greatest headlines.
He's everywhere. Whether if you go to a Hawks game, like oh my God, you got to go to a Bull. Like my God, he's
like super.
The way I've name dropped you anytime I'm at the United Center, I'm like Will Ferrell and Elf. I'm like, it's John Hansen. I know him.
Yeah. And people
that gets you no cred from anybody, Jake. So
people are very
strong. Well, it's usually like, well, can he get better seats than what you paid for? And I was like, no, he can't.
But
he can't.
Can I ask you the first pressing question that I have?
Yeah.
How is baby David?
Oh, he's great. I can hear him kind of crying in the next room over there. So at some point, there will be an episode of this program where I have to go get him and bring him on the air.
Let it be this one.
Yeah, no, I think we're good. I think Enrique's taking care of him in the other room, so we're good right now.
Okay, well, one day, when he wants to make his TV appearance, he'll be here.
Yeah.
Okay, our first topic of conversation is about cats. Do you guys have a cat at home?
No pets here. I thought you were going to say condiments. No, cats. We're going to do the cat story.
That too. Yeah, we'll leave that for that.
I have a lot of thoughts on condiments, but we can save them for another day. I don't have cats. We don't have dogs either. We had cats growing up. They lived to be like 23 years old, which was incredible. They were these great indoor-outdoor cats when we were kids. But no, we don't have any pets. We don't want to complicate things with the 7-month-old right now.
Well, there is a Chicago cat clinic that Block Club has been reporting about. Tell us about it.
I mean, what's really cool about Block Club, right? We highlight all these great businesses that have been around for a long time, but there's usually like this awesome story behind the story, and that's exactly what we found when we featured a cat business that's been open for 50 years in the Edgebrook community. It's called the Chicago Cat Clinic. I know one of your producers takes their cats there, by the way. First of all, I could look at pictures of cute cats for a while. But what's really cool about this place is how it got started. It was started by this woman that you're seeing right now, who is a legend in the veterinary world. She had been around and really kind of was the pioneer of all things, Dr. Stein. And a lot of people took their cats to see Dr. Stein because she basically invented what veterinary practices should be for cats in the 70s. For years and years, they basically treated cats like little dogs. And of course, that makes no sense. They're a completely different species. They do things completely differently. So she basically wrote the book on how to treat cats for the diseases that they have, how to prepare them, how to make sure that everything's okay. And she started this cat clinic. And what's awesome too is the story of the journey she had to go through to even open a place. As a woman small business owner in the 1970s, she couldn't get a loan to do it, which is ridiculous. She had to ask her parents for money to set up this place. Now the rules have changed, although we still have a long way to go to get women small businesses and their owners better funding. But the point is that she made it work. She passed away in the late 90s, but the cat clinic has continued on. And it's a really great read just to hear more about her life and the life of this clinic.
Yeah, even if you don't own a cat, you still love hearing about people's furry friends.
Yeah, I mean, if you just love animals, like you obviously, you know, I'm a dog guy. I have a dog at home, but yeah, I'm never gonna, you know. But also, John, this is the second oldest feline-specific clinic in the country. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, the one that's continuously operated, right? I mean, how many times do you see a vet office pop up in a strip mall and go away, you know, a couple years later? It's a tough business to run, right? The margins aren't that big. It's hard. People have to make a lot of hard decisions at this place. And, of course, pets don't live forever. And, you know, a lot of people don't get a second, you know, so it's a business that is a hard model to keep going for a long time. One really cool nugget because of its longevity is they say that, like, grandma had a cat, and then they started seeing grandma's kids have a cat, and now the grandkids are having cats. So like 3 generations of cat owners coming into one place, which is really cool.
That is so cute. And I'm glad you guys mentioned the story about the margins and how hard it is to keep up this business, because truthfully, I didn't know that. I always think, oh, my vet bill is so expensive, then they must be making bank and running home. But yeah, I'm glad that you guys made that a part of the story.
And that's also, I mean, like, you know, trust is such a big part when it comes to us, you know, handing over, you know, a little piece of our heart whenever we bring our animals in, and this idea that this place has not just survived but thrived for as long as they have. I mean, that's a testament to the work that they're doing. It doesn't just mean that, you know, oh, enough people are coming in and giving them enough money to survive to the next year. It means that they're doing the work and they're doing it the right way.
And they've adjusted to how we look at our furry friends, right?
Oh,
like now they're really family members, right? Pets, I think, were treated a lot differently in the 70s and 80s. Not that they were treated worse, but you kind of understand what I'm saying. Like now, we want the utmost of care for our pets their entire lives. It's not like we wait for a problem to arise to go to the vet. You're doing a lot of preventative stuff for your animals earlier and earlier. And I think the business that has lasted that long is and this is for any field, is to adjust to the clientele of the time. And they've always loved their cats, but I'm sure now they are even extra judicious about people's furry friends because we treat them, and as well we should, as members of the family.
I love my dog more than I like most people.
Yeah.
So then that's a true statement. All right, we got to switch gears for a second. I'm fascinated by, and I'm reading this quote,
the headline is
the
crazy.
city's worst landowner. Tell us about who this is and the story behind some of her lots are going up for sale.
This is Susie B. Wilson, and this has been quite a saga that Block Club and the Illinois Answers Project has been following for years. And this is not us calling her the city's worst landlord. This is the city attorneys saying that she is the city's worst landlord. Her and her sister, for years, bought up a bunch of vacant lots all over the city. And look, buying up a vacant lot and doing something with it is great for certain areas of the community. Sitting on them and letting them become overgrown, letting them become rat infested is not being a great community partner, but you still can make money doing that because eventually the land becomes worth more than the dollar you paid for it when you went to a vacant lot sale. So Susie B. Wilson and her sister had racked up, and their companies, their subsidiaries of ownerships for these land, had racked up millions of dollars of rat fines that they had not been paying. 800 properties, $15 million in rat fines. So that's city revenue that isn't coming in. That is disgusting lots that people have to live by and drive by. That doesn't help a neighborhood. So eventually all these little subsidiaries of these two people went bankrupt. So this is now in bankruptcy court. And they had worked out an agreement where they were going to auction off the best of these properties. Unfortunately, it has not brought in the money that the city thought it would. There's not been as many buyers for some of these lots as the city thought it would be. So the city isn't making a dime off this yet. So the story goes into just this saga. First of all, a little of the backstory if you haven't read it, and also just like what's happening right now. The city was expecting to get millions of dollars in revenue for this, but they're not getting anything. They're not selling very much, and they also aren't the first people to get the money. There's the people that financed the bankruptcy. This is a little in the weeds, but it was a New York company that financed the bankruptcy. They get paid first. So basically the city's not making money, and no one's happy about this situation that has been stretching on for years.
Except the rats, as Jake said.
Yeah, the rats are still living pretty there, for sure.
I have just a quick follow-up. I'm sort of curious, who is Susie, and has she commented on any of this?
No, we have one picture of her because Mina Bloom knocked on the door once. That's the photo. She answered the door like that and then immediately slammed it in her face, not before Mina was able to take a picture, which, by the way, is a pretty epic job by a reporter to get a picture.
Yes.
Yeah, right? That's, I mean, you're always ready to go, and, you know, completely legal when they answer the door. You're allowed to take a picture. But she's just built on this empire. But that's a great question, Jake. I could dive a little deeper for you, but I don't have the full biography of Susie and her sister, Swedella Das. But they've certainly built this all up, this empire of vacant lots, and then went bankrupt and left the city basically with the bill.
I feel like we could talk about this for
I mean, and I'm going to I'm obviously Block Club it does great stuff, and we're going to keep following what they're going to do. Before we let you go, tell us a little bit about the Whistlemania events that are happening.
Yeah, so obviously ICE is dominating the news headlines here in Chicago, rightfully so. A lot of people concerned, and neighbors are trying to, I don't even want to use the term fight back because this is all about nonviolent reaction to what's happening. I'd say pushback, maybe a resistance to ICE in some ways. And what neighborhoods are starting to do now, especially in the south and southwest sides, they're putting together these Whistlemania events where they put together, and they've done 17,000 bags that has information about people knowing their rights, what to say or what not to say to immigration officers, and they include whistles. And the point of the whistles is twofold. One, to raise a ruckus. If you see ICE and you oppose what they're doing and you don't want them in your neighborhood, you literally blow the whistle. That is to not only create a cacophony of noise, which we have seen in some attempted arrests, has actually deterred ICE agents from doing that. And I'm not making a value judgment on whether that's okay or not. This is just what's happening in the neighborhoods. But another thing is to warn people who may fear being interviewed or being detained by ICE to go somewhere else. So this raises a whole can of worms about, people have said, is this obstructing justice, whatever the case, but they're doing what they say is legal to get the word out in these communities, to let people know at least when ICE is showing up and how to at least give the word out to the community to react how they want to react from there. So it's about these neighbors, and we see it all over the city. People that are upset by these actions, trying to do whatever they can within their legal means, and I will say they keep on emphasizing peaceful means, and let's hope it stays that way for everybody's sake. But that is the ultimate goal of some of these events.
John, we have like a tiny bit of time, but real quick, are there more events coming up, Whistlemania events coming up, like maybe this week, later next week, that people can be a part of?
Our reporter Francia Garcia Hernandez would have all the info on that. I don't have it right before me. They just did one on Tuesday night. Okay. Tell you what, why don't I update you guys next week, or I'll send you guys a note and you guys can update your viewers to make sure to know exactly when. Oh, no, it is going to be, they're going to hold, I'm reading in the story as I scroll down, they're holding some in the suburbs in the upcoming days and weeks, and we'll keep you posted on where those will be at blockclubchicago.org.
Great, yeah, Block Club always keeping us
I mean, he mentioned the phrase all over the city. That's what I think of when I think of Block Club, because you guys are always all over the city, as is John Hansen, just as one of my favorite people on the planet. I love you, brother.
Thank you, Jake. You too, buddy. And, as much as your dog? No, you love your dog more. Good.
I love my dog more than everybody.
No, and I shouldn't have even asked. That's a given.
It's a you know, it's a different kind of love.
And we'll keep your condiment conversation until next.
I do want your thoughts. That's a whole other show.
Do you prefer condiments, or are you a condiment hater?
Who doesn't like condiments?
Exactly.
Jake? That's so weird.
I like food the way it was created. I don't need to change the flavor of food.
And if Gabby wants to be at a fancy steak place and order ketchup and ranch, that is her prerogative.
I like what steaks taste. I like what fries taste like. I don't need to alter their taste.
You know what? With that, John, good seeing you, but we have to go to break.
Bye. I like ketchup on my hot dogs too. Bye.
Whoa, bombshell. Love you, buddy. All right, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Chicago Now. Okay, very little, I feel, people can say this, having no sex for 40 years. But one woman, it's not like the 40-year-old version movie, but she has done just that, experiencing life with abstinence and is guiding others who are navigating similar paths. I want to bring in Melanie Brown. She has a new book, My Life Without Sex. A 40-year-old version shares how to set boundaries to wait for sex and how it provides advice for people who choose to do the same thing. Thank you so much,
Melanie.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course.
Look great, sound great, but let's talk about first your journey and how you decided to go down this path.
So I decided because, well, growing up in church, and when I was a preteen, I went on and decided this is something that I wanted to do. And of course, you know, you have a second thought when you get older, like, oh, okay, do I still want to do this? But yeah, carried it through, and it's been challenging.
You know, Melanie, someone's sex life is a personal thing, you know, and it's usually a private thing, and it's not something that we normally discuss on live television. But by writing this book and by allowing people to interview you, you are in a certain way giving people permission to ask about a very, very personal aspect of your life. So before putting pen to paper, before putting this story out there, was there a part of you that thought, you know, not only is it a matter of telling your story, but it's also allowing people to ask questions that otherwise they probably wouldn't have the right to ask you?
Yeah, it can be kind of, you know, challenging, but I mean, I don't have too much to tell, but I surprisingly enough, this book is kind of like a Christian Zane book, because it's no sex, but it talks about a lot of dating experiences that could have involved sex and different boundaries and different things you can have. But yeah, I'm being open and transparent because I think it's going to help people. I think God has allowed me to be used to help other people. I didn't have a blueprint, so maybe there are other virgins. I run across other virgins. We aren't foreign. We're not on Mars, and they need a blueprint. Like I didn't have a blueprint to look at. I wanted to provide that for other people coming up behind me.
Well, that's good and that's brave of you. But yeah, that was kind of my follow-up question. Is that we're looking at you. You're beautiful. I know that you've had suitors before. You know, how did you approach the conversation with them, if you don't mind me asking? Because I know you probably hit on that on the book, but maybe you could share it with the audience too.
So I've been told by men, do not tell other guys that you are a virgin. You know, and I guess that's them looking out for me. And one time I was on the Steve Harvey show, and I'm the 28-year-old virgin from that show. Way back when. I know he didn't even expect me to still be having that story, but he told me not to share it either until, you know, on the verge of being intimate with someone. And my dad told me as well, don't share with people. But I tend to want to be, I look at it individual based. Be transparent to some people. Sex comes up pretty quick when you're trying to date someone. People sometimes expect it on the first, second, third date.
And were you just brave enough to say no and explain yourself, or how did that conversation go? Did it drop right away?
So, yeah, sometimes they'll ask, when was the last time you had sex? And I said, I've never had it. They're like, what? You're lying to me. So, you know, it's just like, no. When was the last time you had sex? So you've never had sex? Never had sex. So that conversation tends to come up. If it comes up, hey, I'm willing to share. I'm not going to lie and say, just to hold back and say, no, I haven't had it, so I can go out with a person. It lets me know in the door what they're on, you know? And then some people are like, oh, that's cool. And they think, like, in the back of their mind, well, it's going to be me.
Well, that's why I wanted to ask you. I want to believe in this world that you know, men that hear this respond respectfully and respect your choices and your wishes. Is that, I mean, it's 2025. With dating apps, I know, you know, hiding behind a screen, it allows men to say a lot of things that they wouldn't have the guts to say. Give me faith in men that they're responding well.
I mean, I can't give you something that I'm still searching for.
No,
that's long.
Melanie.
You're saying it hasn't gotten better in the last 10, 15 years?
It's gotten worse. I really wish I got married sooner. Like, had that mindset of like, you know, ooh, when I graduate from college, I'm gonna get my BA and become an MRS, you know, as well. But I mean, then again, too, there wasn't really nobody I was interested in like that. So I mean, it's just, and I look at the exes, nah, they wasn't marriage material. So I haven't ran across my mate, but these guys out here, they want polygamy, a lot of them. And they say, I can't even listen to what you're saying until after we have sex. And then they like, some of them, and say, oh, now I can take you serious. It's kind of weird, but I talk about that a lot in the book. Like some of the things I hear, one guy told me, you can't even get my phone number unless you promise me 2 to 3 times a week we gonna have some oral sensation stuff going on.
What?
It's bad.
What? Are you hearing
this? Bad out here. It's
Melanie, you're lying.
I'm not lying.
I gotta read this book.
I'm done. They're pigs.
I gotta read this book. Okay, we can't let you go. One of our amazing anchors, who unfortunately couldn't be here today, Tia Ewing. She is so captivated by this that she left. I didn't even know we were allowed to do this on this show. She left a question for you.
Tia. I love Tia.
Okay, well, she has a question for you.
Mel, I'm just curious if there's ever been a time where you felt like today could be the day that I end this whole celibacy, virginity situation. Has there ever been a time where you're like, you got close? I'm the wild card here, so I'm just asking the questions that the people want to know. Nice to see.
I've gotten close. There's times where I was like, you know what? I was in a relationship, the guy cheated on me, and then I was like, you know what? What am I waiting for? My husband ain't gonna be a virgin. What am I waiting for? Like, so even if I have sex with one person, I'm like, and then we meet, me and my husband meet, I'm like, neither one of us can say we took each other virginity, just on some, you know, that. And then, you know, the situation where I was just thinking, And a guy I was thinking about, he got tested and he had syphilis.
What is
and I was like, whoa. And I was like,
what is going on?
I was like, you know what? I knew that I was had my head on right by staying focused. And, you know, and when it got down to it, I probably was going to say no anyway because of what I'm standing for. But yeah, I got close. Somebody called me, hey, Melanie, can you talk to 50 other young men and women who are dedicating their life to Jesus, who are still waiting? And I'm like, now I gotta stay focused. I'm doing this for a reason. There's other people, and if somebody gonna be used, I guess it's me, or no pun intended. I'm not being used, but
of value.
Right.
You're gonna be of value.
You said that your book is kind of a blueprint for people. Like, what do you go through in the book? Is it, and I'm glad you're being honest with saying that, hey, I have been close, because other people might think that they failed even thinking that they were close enough. But how do you lay it out for people so that they can follow the same path?
So I lay it out where boundaries. I put myself, Gabby and Jake, in so many situations where I could have been raped. I could have been just being too trusting of people, you know, different things like that. I know I was going to say no, but then they like, no, you're going to say yes. And so you're not always in control of the situation. So it's only by the grace of God I was able to get out of certain situations. So I'm telling them a blueprint of boundaries with your ears, what you listen to, with your eyes, with different people, you know, people you may think could be trustworthy. You know, you meeting, as my cousin pastor say, you meeting everybody's representative. So you got to get to know people first. And so that way you can see what people's true intentions are, you know.
Well, we can get to know you. The book is My Life Without Sex. A 40-year-old virgin shares how to set boundaries to wait for sex. Melanie Brown, thank you for just a real, genuine, really honest conversation.
Great conversation. Real quick, Melanie, where can people find your book and where can they potentially even follow you?
Well, it's on Amazon. You can get an ebook, or you can also, if you are Kindle Unlimited, you can download it for free. But if you want to purchase it, $9.99 on Amazon. But paperback, it's on there as well. The price for paperback is on there as well. So ebook or paperback. But also you can find me on Melanie L. Brown. I got the same name as Scary Spice from the Spice Girls. And we got like the same hair. So people's like, are y'all related? That's your sister? No. So I put the L middle initial, Melanie L. Brown.
I love it. You know what? You made an awkward conversation. I was even like scared teeing it up, but you are just such a bright light. And
I threw her under the bus. I said, well, you should probably lead off with this because it's going to be weird if I come in guns a-blazing on this one.
Melanie, we're going to have you back. Thank you so much.
Please, thank you. Can I leave my IG?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, it's Mel B Media. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all.
We got it.
We love you.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll be right back.
With pizza.
With pizza. What a show.
You know what? But we're ending the show in the best possible way. Pizzeria Due, one of Chicago's most famous restaurants, the second location to offer the legendary deep dish pizza, turning 70. You guys opened 1955, the second location after its sister restaurant, Pizzeria Uno, where deep dish was invented back in 1943. To celebrate the milestone, you are hosting a lively Chicago-style party filled with food, music, and surprises. On Wednesday, October 22nd, less than a week away, we are joined by Rachel Mihich, who is the Pizzeria Due general manager and our new favorite person, because look at what you've done.
Wow. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, that's
Due.
Due.
Yeah.
Oh,
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, most people say duo a lot of times. I don't know where the O comes from, but yeah, Due.
Because it's Italian, right?
It's Italian, yes. Ironically, Italians say we are not pizza, but we've had.
Wait, is that true?
Yeah, I have we have a lot of international people who come in and they're always like, well, this isn't pizza, and then they eat it and they're like, oh, actually, I really like this, because there is a pizza style in Sicily that is similar to this. This is what the story is. This is what it's based off of. Sure. But our crust is a little bit different than that. It's a lot more crispy, a lot less spongy.
Mm-hmm. Is it because, you know, obviously whenever friends and family they come to visit, it's always what pizza are you going to take them to do, and oftentimes I take them to you guys, and you know, oftentimes the differentiate when you hear different pizza places, they say, oh, we do our crust this way. We do is the crust kind of the defining factor?
I would say so, yeah, because each of the big ones here in Chicago, our crusts are all very slightly different. They're all similar because they're all based off of Uno, our sister store, but everything's just a little different. You know, some people use cornmeal, some people use butter. We use corn oil in our crust, and I think that is super duper important, and we've been using the same recipe for 70 years now.
Let's talk about the party. What can people expect? And also, there's a way that people can win free pizza for a year today?
Yes, that's kind of like, we're doing a couple different ways to celebrate, but the free pizza for a year is our biggest one. There should be a link coming up on your screen at some point soon of how to apply for that. It closes tomorrow, so we're picking everything tomorrow, so we got.
What does that mean? I'm always curious, whenever someone wins something for a year, is that like a pie a day? Is it like, hey, if I want to come in there for 3 square meals a day and eat for 365 days, I can do it? Like, what are the rules? What does that mean?
So you need to be a part of our Uno Extras, which, like, if you aren't a part of it, when you do sign up, you sign up for it, and we will just drop a pizza coupon in your app every week.
I'm not going to waste any time.
I was just going to say, you're getting into this.
I mean, okay. I mean, you might have a job after this.
I was just about to say, yes. So obviously, this is not the only event that you guys are doing. In addition to hiring Gabby, are you guys, like, what other events can people look forward to if they come out? And do the different locations have different events?
So yeah, we are, like, our main thing is our party coming up on Wednesday, obviously, which you also, along with applying to possibly win free pizza for a year, you can win tickets to that as well. Yeah. But we also offer cooking classes.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, you learn how to make our deep dish here in-house at the restaurant. We do those Wednesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. And then Pizzeria Uno, our sister store, does them Saturday mornings a couple times a month before they open at 8:30 in the morning. And then our other sister store, Su Casa, which is our Mexican restaurant,
I love
tamale classes as well.
Okay,
you know what?
Gabby is holding.
I am impressed because I'm glad we have a close-up on this.
Yes.
Because even making its way all the way
to
the Fox Studios, look at a little.
Look at the pool.
Still a little bit.
Look at the. That's it.
Oh.
That's a shot.
Wow.
You do have a job there.
Yeah.
I gotta ask.
I bring the excitement too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Rachel, how long have you been GM over at Pizzeria Due?
So I've only been GM for about 2 years.
Okay.
I started with the company about 10 years ago now.
So you've been there long. I'm just sort of curious. You hear 70 years.
Yeah.
That's not just a family coming out and having pizza. That's a grandmother coming out and then taking her kids and then their kids taking their kids.
Yep.
And I mean, that's got to be incredible. We got just about a minute left. That's got to be incredible to see that kind of legacy it's just been passed on.
Oh yeah, and we have guests coming in all the time, and they say, oh, I moved to California, but I've been coming here since I was 5 years old. And it's super cool. We've had employees who have been with us since the 80s as well.
Incredible.
This is absolutely delicious. Real quick, can you tell us what's on the table here?
Oh yeah, so that is the one that you're eating is our numero uno. That is our specialty sausage, green pepper, mushroom, onion, pepperoni. And then the thin crust is our thin crust version of it. That's called the Windy City Works.
Love it.
Wow.
One more
well
time,
done, everybody.
set people up so they have the information because we're just about to have to take off.
Yes, so our party is Wednesday the 22nd from 6 to 9. You will be able to apply to win the free tickets and the free pizza for a year. And the day before, we're doing a buy one, get one 70-cent pizza deal as well. So that's for dine-in and carry-out. Almost forgot to tell you guys.
Rachel, you have been a fantastic guest.
Yes.
Thank you so much for pizza. Sorry I didn't serve you guys, but you know.
I don't think we didn't notice.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't even like that fake offer like, oh,
One more
guys.
thing. Condiments on pizza, yes or no?
Yes. Thin crust for me, deep dish no.
I heard no.
I heard ranch was evil, which I am disgusted by.
Yeah, you know, look, I'm a blue cheese girl.
Guys,
sorry.
thank you so much for joining us. We have
Dude,
much
showtime,
more
baby.
coming up on Friday. See you then.
Interact.
Live from Chicago, this is Fox 32 News at noon.
And right now at noon, we are following breaking news. A judge rules all federal immigration officers must wear a body camera when working in the city of Chicago. And plenty of people from the Loyola community come together to remember a legend.